one question I'd like to ask you is, there's a lot of people maybe watching this sitting on the couch that they truly feel like they can't make it because maybe the pigment of their skin, maybe because of their environment, maybe because they just never had anyone to show them the way, and they feel like they can't be a successful person in their own right. And for that person watching that right now, what advice would you give them?
Dig deep, go to the mirror, dig deep within, look at thyself, and tell thyself that, hey, I can do all things through Christ Jesus. Amen. No matter what the given situation is, one of the things that I've learned is that people will let you down, but the God I serve has always been there. And when I wanted to go a certain direction, he showed me why nope, that's not for you. And no matter what we go through, it has to start within. We have to want it. We have to dig deep enough within to bring that energy out to the point of success. There's nothing.
Welcome to the Asian My Show. We chilling today. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, my name is Larry C. Stewart from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, I see. First off, yes, people, Dallas Cowboy fan. If you're not one, it's okay. My man came today. He didn't know who I was. He didn't even care. All he heard was the channel's about helping drivers. And he said, you know what? Let's do it. So I appreciate you so much for even allowing this to happen.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem.
So off camera we talked, and you're a humble man.
Yeah.
But my man got 3 trucks.
Yeah.
Doing it. I mean, look at that smile. I mean,
Yeah.
Talk about before trucking. What were you doing before trucking?
Well, before trucking, I actually was in the United States Navy. Got out of the Navy and tried to work for a company back in the day called Tom McCann Shoe Store. I was a salesman, moved up from salesman to a manager of the store. Didn't like the company politics, so I left the shoe store alone. My uncle was a driver. He let me ride with him a couple of times, and from that point on, I fell in love with the trucking industry.
Oh, I'll tell you, right? First off, I appreciate you for what you did, because I'll be honest, like I don't have the balls to serve. Like the fact that you did it, that's cool. You gotta take the money call, take it. If you gotta take a money call,
That's okay. That's
you
all
sure?
right. Yeah.
Because we here dropping diamonds, we don't be dropping money too, okay? We just having a conversation.
Right.
But I appreciate you for serving and doing what you do.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
But
you very much.
that trucking, it gets in your blood, huh?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, and in fact, I've been doing it right at 28 years now. And
28 years?
Yeah,
Why the hell you
yeah.
look like you like 35? I'm 35. You got more teeth than
That's
me.
just it. That's just it. When you're driving truck, it's not hard work. It's a consistency of sitting behind a wheel, making sure you keep those wheels up straight. I mean, a lot of folks think that trucking is very difficult.
Take your money calls.
Yeah, okay.
Remember, Larry's businessman. We got 3 trucks here.
Hello.
Take it.
Hello. Yeah, I'm being interviewed right now.
Whisper.
I'm being interviewed right now.
Are you talking to the wife? What are you talking? Tell her I said hi.
Yeah, right here at the truck stop. Okay, just hold on. I'll be right there. Thank you. I'll be right there.
We got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Whoever was that, shout outs to them.
Yes, most definitely. Okay.
28 years in the game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it real quick. Company. Did you ever start with a company, or you were working, like you said, for your family?
Most definitely. You always start with a company. I remember my first job I had was with a company called Builders Transport, and they were out of Dallas, Texas, and it was a flatbed company. And for the first 6 months, you have to actually train with the trainer. But then after those 6 months, they send you out on the road by yourself. And
how did that feel? That's scary as shit.
Yeah.
Even when I look back at my truck at a rest area, a service plaza, I'm like, damn, that's a big ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the funny part to that story is I burned up a transmission on Mount Eagle. Because there was a sign that said, "Go to your lowest gear," not knowing that they were talking about on the high side of the other. So I went to my lowest gear, which was number 1, and actually told. I mean, by the time I got down, I was smoking and everything else. But it was a learning experience from that point on. The trucking industry, man, has been. I tell anybody, each and every day, you learn something new. There's nothing that you can. If you become so comfortable with driving a truck and not wanting to learn something new, you need to get out of the industry, because what you've done is you've gotten complacent. And when you see these trucks turn over in these curves, when you see these trucks going above the speed limit, that sign is for a car. That when it says 45 miles an hour, that's for a car. That's not even for a big truck. So you can't go into a curve thinking that you can make that turn with going that speed. You have to go 10 miles underneath that speed even. And like I said, with the trucking industry the way that it is now, it's got its ups and it's got its downs. You just gotta you gotta, like anything else, you gotta go through the storms as well as enjoy and celebrate when the money's good and everything else is working perfect. But there's days go where you might blow 2 tires. That's money out your pocket. There's days that you might get that mother load. But you have to know, and you got to always prepare for that rainy day.
Man, I love that. Speak on this for a second. When did you know it was time to go from company driver to owner operator? When was that move? When was that indication that you said, you know what, I'm ready for this?
About my 10th year in the industry. About my 10th year in the industry, due to the fact that I was one of those guys that was the job hopper. I was the guy that if the dispatcher pissed me off, I'm gone. I was that guy that had to learn how to take the bad load to get to the good load. So the learning curves, all those learning curves, it made a big impact up, and in fact it got me to the point where now I understand that every load that you get, especially in the industry now, you really got it. You really can't accept these cheap loads.
You can't take cheap freight, man. We gotta know our value, right?
Exactly.
And looking at that, the job hoppers out there, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? You gained a lot of experience from learning a lot of things from different companies, but what would be your advice to a person that gets upset or wants to move on to where and chase the money? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What would be your advice to that person?
My advice now would be to literally go and communicate with either your dispatcher, your fleet manager, whoever it is. If you're a company guy, you literally need to communicate a little bit better. Let them know exactly how you really want to run, which they should already know how you run. If you're a hard runner, they should already set you up that way. A lot of times it was the dispatcher that was trying to prove a point. So when you find yourself having to fight with your dispatcher, you go above. You use the chain of command to the point of going to the fleet manager, finding out, hey, can I get a new dispatcher that understands how I want to run? Because at the end of the day, it's how you run that makes them money.
So you gotta be honest from the get-go.
Yeah.
When you get when it comes like, yo, I got kids, I love my kids.
Yeah.
I gotta be home for this.
Yeah.
If you can make that happen, we can make it work.
Right.
But you gotta be honest in the beginning, right?
Right.
And make sure that, so you become an owner operator.
Oh yeah.
It's time. It's 10 years.
Yeah.
You're ready to do your damn thing.
Yeah.
When the hell did you know to add on trucks?
Well, again, the opportunity when it presents itself. When you have a truck and you have the trailer and you have your load board that you're going on, and you finding everything, and everything is starting to, and your monies are starting to look positive instead of negative. So you say, okay, well, wait a minute, maybe I can do this with another truck. So
Any advice for people looking to buy a truck, their first truck? You got 3 of them. I mean, a brand, a model, something that you would say that kind of helped you with your way? Because I know when the equipment fails, that's not good for us.
No. no.
You know, any recommendations for that?
Well, I tell any beginner.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the KW and the Peterbilt is the top of the line.
What are you driving right now?
Freightliner, I've been with Freightliner.
Okay.
You know, and one thing I tell most people is that the freight shaker, true enough, after a while it starts shaking, but it still makes the same amount of money that KW and that Peterbilt does, and you don't have as much overhead. You don't have as much maintenance because you go into a place and you pull in a Peterbilt, they already cha-chinging you.
That's right.
Freightliner, you know, in fact, the motor that I love is a Detroit. I love that engine, but you got a lot of guys that love a Caterpillar, and what I tell any guy, or any lady for that matter, is that, you know, you get a engine that's gonna pull them hills. You get an engine that is gonna work for you, but you got to keep your maintenance up, no matter what kind of truck it is. Really, it's your maintenance.
That's great advice. You know, now how about for employee retention? Because keeping drivers is hard.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You know, what's some advice for someone that now they got one truck? They try and be like Larry. They try and be like you, but they're not ready for 3, but they're ready for the second one.
Okay.
Where the hell do you go to find a driver, and how the hell do you keep that driver?
Well, believe it or not, a lot of times it's word of mouth, and then on top of that, you got places like Indeed.com. Mm-hmm. They help screen that driver to know what he's looking for and what you're looking for, and they match it up. But to be honest with you, and at this day and time, it is so difficult because when you find a driver, you find out that the driver's mindset is not on a level in which he's looking to make money and go to the next level. He's he's all in your pocket and trying to figure out what the loads are paying and everything else. When you show him your rate confirmation and you know you tell him, hey, look, this is what I'm getting, this is what you getting, and you know. But a lot of these drivers now, they're chasing the bag, but they don't understand the survival or the sacrifice behind the bag.
Wow, no,
you know?
that's deep. That's Larry Part 2. When we
yeah,
got a chance,
yeah.
you know, before I let you go, in your lifetime, you've done a lot. You know, you've served, you trucked, you built up businesses.
Oh, yeah.
If you could redo it again, I mean, would you do anything different?
Probably, as far as the trucking industry, probably, yeah. I wouldn't go with as many trucks or even now. I'm looking at just me. I'm just driving.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
you know. Once you have other people that you are responsible for,
yeah.
you love them and you care for them and
yeah.
you worry about them, and after a while the stress.
Well,
you know.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing, and if I was to go back again, I would only hire women. A lady is more consistent. She works. She's gonna do her job. But when you get there and you find out that a driver that you hired, he turns around and calls you and tell you your truck is on the side of the highway with a reefer running, because his girlfriend called him and told him that it's over. So you done left your load to go home. But then you call me a day after asking me for your money on the load. Yeah. So
you know,
those type of stress. Oh man.
People say they want to be entrepreneurs. People say they want to be bosses in this world, but a lot of times people don't understand that when you're the one writing the check.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you just happy to be in the black.
Okay. Yeah.
Forget the gray.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Well, so at the end of the day, why did you become an owner operator? What was the main reason?
Well, you want your independence. You enjoy your independence. In fact, my family has a right to live in a nice and comfortable way. And being an owner operator, you can do that for your family. Being an owner operator, you make the calls. If you don't feel like running, you don't feel like running. If you know it's the obligation and the responsibilities are all on you. It's not like you working for someone and they tell you, hey, you gotta do this. You learn how to discipline yourself in a manner in which you know what you set your goals for and you go for them. And with me, it's been again like a up down hill battle, but at the same token, I give God the praise that he has, I mean, literally blessed me to make it and be successful.
That's great. You know, I really appreciate you. You know, number one question to ask all drivers. I don't know if you can answer this. Where's the best place in the nation to get some food?
The best place in the nation?
Where's the best place in America to get some food?
Bruh, I'm gonna tell you something. Every time I went to Hunts Point, New York.
Okay. Okay.
They've got the best. I think it's called Conch.
Yep.
Man. And then when you come down here to Miami, any part of Southern Florida, yeah, they got great food here.
I heard that.
I got great food here.
I really appreciate you for your time.
Yeah.
And you know, one question I'd like to ask you is, you know, there's a lot of people maybe watching this sitting on the couch that they truly feel like they can't make it because maybe the pigment of their skin, maybe because of their environment, maybe because, you know, they just never had anyone to show them the way, and they feel like they can't be a successful person in their own right, you know. And for that person watching that right now, what advice would you give them?
Dig deep, go to the mirror, dig deep within, look at thyself, and tell thyself that, hey, I can do all things through Christ Jesus. Amen. You know, no matter what the given situation is. One of the things that I've learned is that people will let you down, but the God I serve has always been there. And when I wanted to go a certain direction, He showed me why nope, that's not for you. And no matter what we go through, it has to start within. We have to want it. We have to dig deep enough within to bring that energy out to the point of success. There's nothing that can stop us. If you put your mind to it, one of the things that I love about even reading the Bible is that the lady with the blood issue for 12 years, she woke up that morning and decided that if I could just touch the hem of His garment, that I'll be healed. When she touched the hem of His garment, it took all of His energy. He had to turn back and ask, who was it thou that touched me? So in the midst of her believing, He told her it was your faith that healed you. So it starts within. So if you got the faith, you can do anything in life.
Hey, you good, boss?
You gotta use my man. You gotta put him on there, dude. That was a good one.
No, hey, I appreciate you.
Hey,
you know,
man, I appreciate you.
hey, you know, thank you so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let me give you my personal number. And then
I got